made. We know, based on our reporting here, the arrest happened in Dearborn and Inkster, two towns nearby each other. What we don't know is whether there's some kind of foreign nexus to these arrests. Were these people influenced by an ideology related to a country?
Sources say some of those arrested are minors. Federal authorities are being sued by immigration advocates over alleged inhumane conditions at the Broadview ICE facility outside Chicago. And CBS's Michael Wallace tells us
Governor J.B. Pritzker asked the feds to temporarily suspend immigration enforcement operations this weekend, but Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem shot that down.
No, we're absolutely not willing to put on pause any work that we will do to keep communities safe.
So parents and community leaders got the city's permission to close off streets and post volunteers at intersections. Little Village Community Council President Baltazar Enriquez organized a trick-or-treat zone so kids can
have a good old time and not be afraid.
the impact of the federal government shutdown widens, with food benefits set to end for more than 40 million people. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns is in Washington.
In previous shutdowns, there was funding available because of various appropriations. This time, that is not the case. So for the first time in history, SNAP funding, food stamp funding, will not be available to those who need it. That deadline is tomorrow.
Health care premiums could skyrocket as a tax credit in the Affordable Care Act expires. President Trump's calling on the Senate to scrap the filibuster so Republicans can bypass Democrats and reopen the government. Many parts of Jamaica remain without electricity as people deal with the cleanup from Hurricane Melissa. Christopher Box is a Kingston restaurant owner.
We feel here that, we're grateful for having been spared of it, the worst of it, but then our heart breaks, our nervous system is still very much shocked.
A Baltimore police officer has been suspended after a video went viral that appears to show him driving aggressively and nearly running over a person with his cruiser.
You gonna hit him with the car?
The video shows a person running away and the officer following through a grassy field before crashing the patrol car. Police Chief Richard Worley.
It's just egregious. That's not what we teach our officers to do. It's not what we want our officers doing, and it's going to damage our relationship with the community.
The man who was chased suffered a knee injury. Checking Wall Street. Right now the Dow is down 26 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Halloween is serving up some scary weather. The story coming up at first. KIRO Newsradio traffic. No major blocking problems right now, and your travel times are zipping along. Everett to Seattle will take you about 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle 24, Renton to Bellevue 20, Tacoma to Olympia 30, and your lake bridges are wide open. Traffic brought to you by the KIRO Radio Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. If you are heading out for Halloween festivities tonight, take note.
It's going to be a soaker for Halloween and trick-or-treaters.
KIRO News Radio meteorologist Ted Beener says another atmospheric river is heading our way. It's not expected to be as severe as last weekend's, but will reduce visibility. So if your kids are trick-or-treating, consider adding reflective tape or other accessories to their costumes and stick to the sidewalk, not the street. Drivers need to be vigilant, too, as KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley explains.
Last Halloween, we had 3 kids hit by cars in Tacoma.
We got a long road to recovery.
It happened to Marissa Fullerton's nephew, CJ, then 13, sent to the ICU with a fractured skull.
He's off his breathing tube, and he isn't really talking, but when his dad talks to him and says, "Do you understand me?" he squeezes his fingers.
Rain could begin during peak trick-or-treating hours, somewhere between 5 to 8 p.m., as thousands of kids flock the roads to grab candy.
A use of force team is investigating after Seattle police officers shot and killed an armed man in the Soto district yesterday. Chief Sean Barnes tells KIRO 7 TV.
The person turned toward the officer. The officers encountered this person still armed with a knife or edged weapon, potentially an axe.
He says officers tried talking to the man and even deployed what he calls a non-lethal impact weapon. It didn't work. Officers say at one point the man pulled a gun on them and they opened fire, killing him. 930,000 low-income, no-income, and disabled people in Washington state rely on SNAP food benefits. They are expected to run out of funding overnight because of the federal government shutdown. Governor Bob Ferguson's diverting some state funds to help stock food banks, which are expected to see a surge in visitors. Many are already assisting furloughed federal workers. Some of those workers just got a little help at a Seattle resource fair.
Those affected by the government shutdown were able to access immediate support with food and bills and learn about the city's affordability and utility assistance programs. Caressa is a federal worker in Seattle, her husband in the military in Georgia.
I have a mortgage in Georgia, I have rent in Seattle due, all on the same days.
Jayapal says she got the idea for the fair after attending a similar event at the Port of Seattle. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today with highs in the low 50s. It's 46 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh, yes. Happy Fresh Fridays here on the happy Halloween type of day, October 31st. Appreciate you all hanging out with the Gee and Ursula Show. If you're new to the show, happy Halloween. And if you've always been here with the show, happy Halloween. Good morning, Ursula.
Do you think we're going to have a Halloween-themed show today?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, coming up at 9:47, Chef has been spending a lot of time because we said we want to talk about what are the best Halloween songs and what are the worst. Mm-hmm. I've got one that is very much the worst Halloween song for me, and I had to sing it on stage with one of my favorite people on earth.
I actually agree that is the worst song.
It is really. So we're going to share some of that coming up at 9:47. Are you wearing a costume? We just posted some pictures of our colleagues who are wearing costumes on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page. Mm-hmm. And if you are, we would love to see your costume.
All right, let's get it. Ursula's Top Stories of the Day brought to you by Batfitter Northwest.
Well, this Halloween is going to be a wet one. You heard Heather mention that this strong weather system, what forecasters are calling an atmospheric river, is expected to move in right around prime trick-or-treating hours tonight. You just got back from out of town. Sure. You're back here, Halloween. Do you got big plans for tonight?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
As soon as I get done with this show, I'm going to drive down I-5, pull up down to Tacoma to my house, take my bags, take them upstairs, throw them in the room, close the door, go get my favorite blanket, and be right there. Get in my favorite sweats and get right there on the couch. Ain't moving. Ain't moving the rest of the day. I'm going to be on the couch all day, lights out.
Okay,
tonight.
Okay, that sounds really exciting.
I know.
Good grief.
I don't know about it.
Okay, but I think it's because you're exhausted, or is it because this Halloween is very different for you?
I'm not exhausted, and I'm not even putting that on the Halloween, Ursula.
Yeah.
This is just one of those that, especially when you just talked about the weather. Like sometimes this weather is for me today.
Yeah.
What you go out to do for Halloween? What you doing?
Well, as you can see, my Halloween costume is this woman woke up late and threw on some sweats and came to work. That's my costume today because that's what happened.
Okay. There we go.
So what we're going to do is, since we and mostly my husband has eaten all the bags of Halloween candy that we have purchased pre-trick-or-treating, we have to get some more candy in the event that maybe a few kids will show up at our door.
Okay.
But text us, tell us what you're doing, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. If Congress does not resolve the government shutdown by Saturday, funding for Head Start programs serving more than 3,000 kids in our state will run out, leaving low-income families without access to early education and childcare. Joel Ryan heads the Washington State Association of Head Start and ECAP. He says the situation is truly dire.
So about 3,000 kids are at risk. Right now, we know that there's at least one Head Start center in the Vancouver area that will be closed next week. and they serve a little over 175 children.
He tells King 5 News this is going to have an impact on the local economy.
Yeah, if you can't work, then it means that people have to go on unemployment, or they might have to seek public assistance in other places. So, what we try to do with Head Start is make sure that people can go to work.
And King 5 spoke with parents like Alexis Cortez, a mother of 4, who says the uncertainty is agonizing. Without Head Start, she says she would have to work from home with her kids by her side or bring them along to her job, and paying out of pocket for childcare is not an option.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've, Ursula, run out of ways to talk about how sad all of these stories are that you bring up in the top stories that has to be talked about. But only thing I'll just say is this, one more way to look at it. I said this to you guys this morning. I'll say it again. Today is Halloween. It's October 31st. Tomorrow is the 1st. It's the month of November, and usually we people are making plans for Thanksgiving, Ursula. And it's sad because Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year, and there are so many people right now, whether it is SNAP benefits, whether it is funding for Head Start, for child care, whether it is federal workers not being able to receive paycheck, all those things. The fact that there's some people that can't plan Thanksgiving coming up because they have no idea and so much uncertainty.
And it feels uncertain right now, even if you have a paycheck coming, and if you don't, what exactly is that like? Well, we are actually going to talk to an air traffic controller at SeaTac Airport coming up at 10:30, so you can hear for yourself what that is like. But right now, across Washington, government agencies and nonprofits are scrambling to help folks who are going to be losing their SNAP food benefits tonight at midnight because of the ongoing federal shutdown. We've been telling you that Governor Ferguson is diverting more than $2 million a week to help stock food banks. But many nonprofits say we are truly at the point of desperation, and they are warning families now to brace for empty accounts. And our reporter Luke Ducey is here. You have looked into this, and what are you being told?
Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of nonprofits this week. For the 930,000 low-income, no-income, and disabled people in our state who rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, for groceries every day. As one nonprofit told me, this isn't just bad news right now. We're up against the deadline. This is catastrophic. It's too late to rely on the government to fix this. It's now mostly up to the kindness of friends and neighbors to help people out. Listen to what Jamie Lynn Wheeler with Northwest Harvest told me about what a lot of people are doing tonight on Halloween with kids trick-or-treating.
I've even seen, with Halloween around the corner, people talking about trying to provide packaged food from their front doors that way.
I mean, this is from a nonprofit who does this, provides food, and she's hearing stories of people, giving food along with candy to the kids. Aaron Chesetsky, a spokesperson with the nonprofit Food Lifeline, tells me they're seeing more and more government families now affected by the shutdown who are asking for help, including military families. Gee, you touched on this from JBLM.
It was 200 military families who were needing support for Thanksgiving groceries. That list is now surged up to 800 families.
And that was 800 earlier this week, so I think it's gone up even more now. I mean, the Edmonds Food Bank is teaming up with the Feed Me Hospitality and Restaurant Group to deliver extra food and repurposed food to people in need, people coming up with any idea that they can. Also, in the private sector, private companies like Instacart, DoorDash, and GoPuff, they have just announced they're offering huge discounts to SNAP recipients, trying to get them food as well.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really, but here we are, relying on the kindness of others because government, according to these nonprofits, they're not coming to help.
And when you talk to them, can they remember any other time that was like this?
No, they can't. It's bad. When you interview nonprofits, oftentimes, they're going to talk about as a new exciting program that they have, or like the Edmonds Food Bank, but we're getting responses that we've never heard from them before. Like that JBLM soldiers, we sent them off to war in Afghanistan and Iraq, and they don't have food for Thanksgiving or the money for Thanksgiving. We're hearing them talk about, here's candy for your kids. Do you need food? That's
a lot of
what
people
they're
being
offering.
creative this Halloween, saying, "Hey, I'm going to be offering food to the parents who come." We had Kara, the cleaning lady, yesterday. Say that in addition to the candy that she's going to be handing out in Kent, she's going to be offering things from her own food pantry to see if there are parents, because she said in her community there are a lot of people in need. That is the thing that struck me about your story, which is that the nonprofits are saying this really is going to be up to us.
The nonprofits, and up to us,
as in
meaning you and me and G and Chef, not them.
Yeah, and to that end, G, you work in the philanthropic world. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, because yesterday I will tell you that I was encouraged by the number of our listeners who were saying, right now I am dropping off food at the food bank. Right now, I have a friend group, and all of us are mentioning different organizations that we are going to support, which these are organizations that need support all the time. But especially now, when I think you had predicted, G, that you thought that something would happen maybe in the last minute.
I still feel that way.
Yeah,
I still feel that
I'm
way.
hoping that's the case.
Maybe they can take the money, something to go with, that was happening with the tariffs and stuff like that. I still feel like, I'm optimistic that something will happen. Yeah. And to everything, Ursula, that you just said, Luke, everything that you just said, we are in a time right now where we have never seen. We've never been in this situation. Northwest Harvest, by the way, I love that group. I've done some things with them in the past. Love who they are. But this is the part right here that I'm going to say this, and this is the part that breaks my heart. I have been constantly saying that we wait for things to get bad. There are people in this country, before this was happening, that was already paycheck to paycheck. Already. Mm-hmm. Housing affordability is outrageous right now. Wages are not keeping up with inflation. So not only do you have the people that were really struggling, the people that are working full-time jobs, 40 hours a week, doing everything they can for their families, they are struggling right now because of that gap, that savings they didn't have. So the awfulness when people say, hey, you should have saved, that's just absolutely cruel. But the one point that I want to make and I want to bring up, the stock market today is probably the best that I've seen it in the last 3 months. Do you know how gross and sick that is? That the stock market continues to go? The fact that our politicians, that they continue to get paid while all this is happening? And whatever happened to support the troops? Wait, whoa. In the United States of America? You mean to tell me we're going to talk about military men and women not being able to get food? It is outrageous. I've never been this angry about what is going on in our country. And by the way, we've had a lot of bad things that has happened, but this is gross. And I don't know if this is the end. I feel in my heart it's almost like it's the beginning. And there is no traction, none. There's no traction, Ursula, for the government to even come. It feels like
there's no sense of urgency, you mean?
None.
There's each side is in its own camp, and meanwhile, it's these millions and millions of people. I will say, just right before, and the stock, the stock. Oh, I see what you're saying. The stock market keeps going, which is great. If you have a 401k, you're great. That's awesome.
No, it's awful. No, Ursula, I'm going to tell you right now. I looked at my portfolio today, and that's sick. This is awful. And by the way, do they get to trade? They get to publicly trade all the stock, whether it's Pelosi and all that. This is just absolutely sick. The same people that care so much about making sure babies are born care nothing about when babies are here and they don't get fed. The hypocrisy in this country. But what's happening right now, just one last thing I got to say. There's always been people in this country that has gone through exactly this. Some people has always known. The problem is this is the first time that this is affecting everybody. It doesn't matter your color, your skin, culture, background, and it doesn't matter if you work and serve for the military. You can protect our country and still not be fed.
Luke, thank you for bringing that to our attention. I do want to point out that, again, I feel your frustration, G.
Thanks, Luke.
And yesterday we were trying to focus on, okay, there are people who are doing it right. And an example of that is in Paulsbo, where a local chef is turning compassion into action. His name is Nicholas Ganea, and he runs Sauce Nouvelle Bistro. And he has gone viral after offering free meals to federal workers who were affected by this government shutdown. His TikTok video, which he thought might just get a couple of hundred views, has now been seen more than 1 million times. And he says the idea came from his own childhood. He was raised by a single mom, and he remembers what it felt like to not always have food on the table. Donations started pouring in after the video took off, and now he's using that money to host a free community dinner this Sunday at Paulsbo First Lutheran Church for furloughed workers and their families. I love these stories. And I'm going to tell you, as awful as so much feels like right now, there is so much beauty in what people are doing to step up. He says his goal is not just to feed people, but to bring them together, to remind everyone that in tough times, he says, we're not as divided as we might feel. This dinner runs from 4 to 6. Again, this Sunday, if you would like to help, you can find donation links through Sauce Nouvelle Bistro's social media pages. And I just want to remind everybody, you are not helpless in this situation. If you are lucky enough to still be getting your paycheck, do something. I shared with my family. I shared with my sons and my husband. I said, hey, look, I'll make it real easy for you. And I sent a couple of the links that I have sent money to. I mean, it's the least that I can do.
Yeah, I think that I think more and more, Ursula, we see, and I love the analogy, if you will, that I've been bringing up, Ursula, about the classroom and about how the classroom and how I think our community and how our country is. You always say the vast majority of people are amazing people. The vast majority of people want to help people out. But right now, all of those people are in the middle of the classroom, and in the back of the classroom, you got, remember in class, the people that will just cause the ruckus, threw spitballs, talk stuff to the teacher, and you have them in the back. You have those. And then you have those in the front of the class who were the teacher's pet, right, and did get all the grades, did all their homework. I just wonder, you know what would be nice right now? It'd be nice if one of these billionaire companies like the NVIDIAs of the world, the Amazons of the world, because right now their stock, Ursula, NVIDIA is worth $5 trillion.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Like, what if? What if one of these big companies says, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to just go ahead and just give $1 billion to this to help. Why can't they do that?
That would be great. I mean, again, though, there are some, who's a great example of being a billionaire who is doing amazing things for the community.
Her last name, Scott?
Yep. Mackenzie Scott. Yep, exactly. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, who is doing fantastic things with her philanthropy work.
Yeah. Yeah, she's awesome.
She's showing that billionaires can have big hearts.
Yep, she's doing it. All right, Ursula. 9:47, we talking about Halloween music, top scary movies. By the way, what is your favorite? Don't say it now, but what is your favorite scary movie? We'll be doing that at 9:47. There's just one that just still to this day still kind of gives me the EBGBs. Coming up next, why adults love Halloween. Just why? And not only do you love Halloween, my question, this is my biggest question, Ursula. Why do people pay to be scared? I'm going to pay for the haunted house to be scared. We talk about it next. Gee Ursula.
A KIRO Newsradio exclusive.
This is Charlie Harder. I've spent the past 6 weeks investigating a story involving a youth pastor, child abuse, a mayor, and a name change, all while civic leaders appear to look the other way.
I've read the police report. It is horrible. It is sickening.
There's some level of calculation there.
You have to make it right.
How does no one have a problem with it?
Watch the full story at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
After nearly 4 decades in this crazy radio business, there is one thing that has become crystal clear to me. You cannot wait until someday to start enjoying life. I want to travel while I'm healthy. I want to go to more concerts, pay off the mortgage on our house, put away money for future grandkids, and still know that my future is secure. Trajan Wealth helps you find that balance. They are fiduciary advisors, and they will design plans focused on both growth and protection so that you can live comfortably now and confidently later. If you have more than $500,000 in investable assets, talk to the team at Trajan Wealth. They understand that every goal deserves its own game plan. Call Trajan Wealth today at 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300 or TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Many retirees are enjoying the retirement lifestyle, but not the high cost of living. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, who says a reverse mortgage may provide some stress relief.
If you're struggling with your mortgage payments or other bills, or maybe you just like some extra money, a reverse mortgage allows you to tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You've worked hard to build up that equity in your home. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at revivemenshealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
You can count on the Seattle Times for trusted local news and information. The Seattle Times is one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country right here in the Pacific Northwest. Take a closer look with the Seattle Times. Dig into investigative journalism that holds those in power accountable. Discover a new perspective. Gain a deeper understanding. Learn something new about where we live. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletimes.com/subscribe.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The FBI says it has stopped a potential terrorist attack in Michigan. More from CBS's Michael Wallace.
In a social media post, FBI Director Kash Patel says the attack would have targeted Halloween weekend and multiple people were arrested. The FBI field office in Detroit tells CBS News it had agents in the Detroit suburbs of Dearborn and Inkster this morning as part of the investigation, but would not share any details of the alleged plot. They do say there is no current threat to public safety.
A Pasco man pardoned in the January attack on the U.S. Capitol has been sentenced to time served and 3 years of supervised release for a weapons charge. Taylor Toronto was convicted of making a hoax bomb threat in Maryland. Police found him near former President Obama's home with 2 guns and 500 rounds of ammunition. Food banks across the country
We need all the help that we can get.
Are bracing for a surge in visitors when SNAP food benefits run out overnight due to the federal government shutdown. Vice President J.D. Vance is imploring members of Congress to pass a temporary budget that would reopen government.
To make sure that food stamp benefits continue to go out to the American people who need them, all we need is 5 reasonable Democrats to join 3 moderate Democrats and 52 Republicans to reopen the government.
Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray points out Congress can extend benefits without a spending plan.
SNAP beneficiaries, we are all concerned about them. There is a Republican and a Democratic proposal to fix it, and right now the Republican leadership is saying no to that.
Senators have gone home for the weekend. A video of a Poulsbo chef offering free food for furloughed workers has gone viral. KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss reports.
Chef Nicholas Ganea served up this TikTok video about a week ago.
You're hurting, we're hurting, and we want to support you in this hard time.
Ganea, the owner of Sauce Nouvelle Bistro in Poulsbo, used the video to offer free meals to federal workers affected by the shutdown.
I've gone through not always having food on my table, growing up from a single mother.
The video now has more than 1 million views.
People started donating money to us.
He's using that money for a free community meal for hundreds of furloughed federal workers and their families.
The meal will take place Sunday from 4 to 6 at Poulsbo Lutheran Church. Amazon made $180 billion in revenue in the third quarter, driven by strong growth in its cloud division. It jumped 20% year over year. CEO Andy Jassy says AI is fueling momentum across the company. It's also a catalyst for the 14,000 job cuts the company announced this week. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 38 points, NASDAQ ahead 178. KIRO News Radio traffic, still no major blocking problems right now, and your travel times are looking fantastic. Everett to Seattle, 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 24. Renton to Bellevue, 20. Tacoma to Olympia, 30 minutes, and lake bridges are wide open. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today with highs in the low 50s. It's 46 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show on this Fresh Friday. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Coming up at 9:47, we are going to talk about the best and the worst Halloween music. What is on your list when it comes to your favorite Halloween song? And then Gee was asking, why do people still pay to get freaked out and get scared? Are you past that point in life? I know I sure am. But right now we're going to talk about Halloween and why adults love it so much, or many adults love it. because this is actually inspired by Axios Seattle. It is actually one of the few times all year when adults will meet their neighbors. And it is true. I don't know what happens in your neighborhood, Gee, but one of the best ways for us to get to know other neighbors is when our neighbors bring their kids to our front door, and we actually get to see them and chat with them, even if it's just that little bit. The other thing is when we do the night out against crime and you get everybody together in the neighborhood. But there is a Pew Research study that says only about a quarter of adults in the U.S. say they know all or most of their neighbors. 62% say they know some, while another 12% admit they don't know a single neighbor. Where do you fall on that?
I think that's not surprising, considering that most people aren't staying in their homes as long as we used to back in the day. Rent prices go up, and so if you're a renter, it's not insane for you. It's not normal for you to maybe move a few times. So maybe you're a renter and you move into that neighborhood, and you've been in that neighborhood for 2 years, and you just don't know anybody. You haven't had the opportunity to meet someone. So that doesn't shock me. But I do agree that Halloween is probably a good time for people to get to know their neighbors. And especially, I think the easiest way sometimes, I believe, to maybe know your neighbors is usually if you have small kids, young kids. If you don't have any kids and you and your significant other are living in that neighborhood, then it's probably, it might happen to where you might not know anybody.
Well, I'm curious. I know you said you could move a lot, but for me, it's one of those things where I kind of want to have my space in my home, and I don't want to get it, with the exception of our neighbors to our south, our direct neighbors to the south, who I just adore and consider friends. On the rest of the street, it's like I kind of like to have my autonomy, which is strange. But I envy those who have great relationships with neighbors all up and down their street, because I do think it makes for a happier community.
I am shocked. I am shocked because I know almost every single neighbor on my block. There's a number of them that we have over to dinner.
See, that's awesome.
And we look out for each other. There's a lot of older folks, and there's also some young families too. Like our kids play together. They're constantly hopping the fence.
How long have your parents lived in that neighborhood?
Since I was in high school, my senior year of high school, a long time. But Gee, to your point, it took probably 15 years for me to get to the point where I actually knew everyone. Ursula, you're also a personality, though, so like I can understand wanting a little privacy in your neighborhood.
Well, part of it, too, is there was a time when I had zero time for my own family, or very little time for my own family. That would have been the time that I could get together with other neighbors who had kids of the same age. I'm so much better now with relationships with them because I do these block watch things or whatever. But
are you the block watch captain?
No, but why? You look like I should be. No. But I love the relationship, like I said, that I have directly with my neighbor to the south. Now, there is one neighbor who did call in, remember, that our car was parked strangely. I think I know who that is, but that's another reason why I'm like, I'll just kind of keep them to myself. But we got a lot of people texting in. Like Allie in Tacoma says, I would be so lost without my neighbors. Cup of sugar, cup of booze, cup of cheer, cup to help bail the water out when there's a leak. But anyway, so the research shows that knowing people around you isn't just nice, it's actually good for you. People who have stronger neighborhood connections tend to live longer, they report higher happiness levels, and experience better mental health. So I'm thinking that when I free up some time, I need to do a better job of going further down the street and getting to know my neighbors.
Yeah.
Okay, what about some Halloween traditions, Gee?
I don't have any.
There are some new Halloween traditions that people are embracing. For example, offering something for adults. Now, I love this. When we would go trick-or-treating, I loved the houses that offered something for adults as well, like little shooters or...
little airplane bottles, little alcohol. Are we allowed to say that?
One neighborhood on Mercer Island apparently offers beer and wine to go, setting up a hot cider or hot cocoa station to allow people to socialize.
So I have a question. You guys know me. I like to I just want to see, I want to check the temperature, if you will. I want to see what's happening. So you guys have heard of someone go, hey, here's something for the adults. Here's some little bottles and everything. Is it okay? You know where I'm going. Is it okay to hand out some blunts? Is it okay to hand out some marijuana to the families and all that?
See, I know you're being serious because you have pointed out repeatedly that there is a stigma when it comes to marijuana, but no one blinks an eye if someone's handing out booze.
Right. So imagine that house on the block is handing out some marijuana, some pre-rolled. And they're handing them out, and they're just giving it to the families. I feel like it would be on your top stories of the day, right? If
is anyone doing that?
I'm just saying, would you frown upon it? Would you guys frown upon that?
I would probably have something to say about it. Okay. Yeah.
Living in Capitol Hill, that wouldn't have shocked me at all. But the kids weren't trick or treating at that age.
Right.
So we're
probably a few places, but yeah.
Okay, what about
not
this?
Common.
I'm trying to get you in a better mood, G. What about this? Reverse trick-or-treating. How about instead of waiting for visitors, families or friends go door to door delivering treats to elderly neighbors or those who can't get out?
Absolutely love that. Right? That's awesome. And I think that everybody likes to check on. I think everybody knows that neighbor in your neighborhood that needs to be checked on.
Yeah. I was just thinking about one other thing. For the longest time in our neighborhood, we didn't have a lot of kids. And it's just happening now. So I think our neighbors with the kids who are the same age know each other a lot better. Tracy and Bonnie Lake just texted in and said, we love Halloween out here. The whole neighborhood serves drinks to the adults, adult trick-or-treating, and candy to kids. We set up a photo booth. We play 90s R&B all night. Adults get to be kids again for one night, and we love it. Now, that is what we're talking about being a great neighborhood.
Hey, some neighborhoods, and matter of fact, for some reason, Bonnie Lake always comes up when we're talking about Halloween every year. What's up with Bonnie Lake and Halloween? Is it just going down there or what? Maybe I need to go pull up down there, and that'll put me in a better mood. Halloween and Bonnie Lake. How about that? All right, everybody. Your top scary movie. What is the number one scary movie for you? Maybe you're growing up. By the way, full transparency, Ursula, I don't think scary movies are scary anymore. I just don't think the environment is any scary. But when you talk about scary movies, 70s, 80s, what's that? And then your top Halloween song. Number one Halloween song, and what's the worst? What is the one Halloween song? What is the candy corn of Halloween songs? We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
Seahawks. Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 54, Bobby Wagner, linebacker, one of the finest of his generation. He set just about every tackling record that can be set. He was the heart and soul of one of the best defenses to ever play in the National Football League.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
A little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, I saw that you visited the baby chicks.
I got to hold 7 of them. They were so cute.
Do you know why Wilcox chickens are so happy?
Because they get to play outside?
Yes.
Happy chickens are healthy chickens.
From our farm to your table, Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits, like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You can count on trusted local news and information from the Seattle Times, one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country, right here in the Pacific Northwest. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletime.com/subscribe.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game on Sunday, November 9th. Head to the KIRO News Radio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO News Radio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, October 28th through November 3rd. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you. Happy Fresh Fridays, and more importantly, happy Halloween. Now, Ursula, we're having this topic today about where do you want to start? You want to start movies, or let's go songs first? Want to do that since we got that going?
Yeah, let's do it.
There has been a conversation, and we would love to hear from you. Text message 888-973-5476 on your favorite song. Now, when you hear this song or when you think of Halloween, this is a song you think of, and maybe you have a worse song. Ursula, you want to start us out?
Well, the obvious one, I think, for a lot of people, and for me, if I were to be honest and not try to hold back at all, I would say this is my absolute favorite Halloween song.
So let me hold you tight and share up together.
No question.
It's just, I can't help but want to just bop around and dance to it. And it brings me back to a time when I was really happy, discovering a lot about myself, et cetera, et cetera. So I love it. And I have to separate the man from the music.
No,
so,
no doubt.
The worst Halloween song for me, and sadly, it is one that I sang on stage with one of my favorite people, Dave Ross. It's this song.
They did the Monster Man. It was a graveyard smash. He caught on in a flash.
You know, that song right there has just been cringe to me forever. It's right just, when it comes on, I'm like, ugh.
Uh-huh.
But you guys did a good job with it.
No. Well, Dave was awesome. Dave was fantastic. Colleen, and it was, who else? There was someone else with me, two other women, Tracy.
Candy and Tracy.
Candy Tracy, and then myself. And we're there doing the background stuff, and we never practiced. We never, and you'd think, oh, just chant away or whatever.
Right.
No, it was bad.
Right. you know, this morning we were talking about this, and I was thinking in my head, but I was like, nobody's going to know about this, so I wasn't going to bring it up. And Chef asked me, he's like, Gee, did you know that DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince had a Halloween song? And I was like, yeah. And I used to sing it all the time.
Man, I ain't even wait to see who it was. Broke outside in my drawers and screamed so long, cuz got halfway up the block.
Slaps, man.
Yeah.
I used to sing a song all the time. And so if there's anybody that remembers that, I would say Gen X baby boomers, you might have remembered it. Ursula, you got any other ones?
Yeah. So this is another favorite of mine.
The Land.
Hang on. No, not that one.
Why do I always feel like I'm in the twilight zone and I always feel like somebody's watching me?
It also brings me back to the MTV days.
Hey, do me a favor. Go watch that video. And the video. The videos back in the day.
What am I looking for?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I didn't have no cable growing up. Oh. Is it just cheesy?
Yes, but wait, no. It's cheesy now.
Yeah.
It wasn't cheesy back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Back then,
so,
it was popping.
It was crazy.
Okay, Chef, what's yours?
You know what? I generally don't like Halloween music, but I was going through all the songs. I'm like, there's some really, really good ones. I forgot about this. Some classics.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, wow. Who sings that?
It's Warren Zevon. He's an artist from like the
that's right.
80s.
Of course, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Nick would know that. Nick, what you got? I don't know if I've ever heard that before. Nick, you got any Halloween songs?
Well, I mean, I got a couple I thought of just off the top of my head, but I'll start with one that's kind of annoying. I feel like it's a little cliche that we hear all the time. Even I played honestly at Rainier's games as a little clap sound.
They're all together, Ookie, the Addams Family.
I feel like we've heard that a lot of times. So exactly, that's probably on the bottom 50. But here's a classic. One of the first songs I ever heard for when the Halloween weekend, and one of my favorite, funky artists too.
Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
Also one of my favorite movies of all time too. So it's just a good mix.
So you can't help but be in a good mood when you listen to Ghostbusters.
Hey, 206. I don't know who you are, 206, but boy, did you call it by Houdini. Freaks come out at night.
Oh, that's another good one.
Hey, that's a classic. Oh, it's Brett. Nice job, Brett. I like that one right there.
One other classic here.
Yeah.
You want to put
Bad Moon Rising.
Yeah, that's good.
See, I wouldn't even put that as a Halloween song.
I've heard that.
Right. Okay, so let's talk. We don't have a whole lot of time, but let's talk about scary movies and what comes up as the scariest movie for you of all time.
Of all time, I would have to say number one is the first one, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh.
When that first came out, I thought I was scared for a very, very long time. Like, nothing has ever scared me the way Nightmare on Elm Street. First of all, speaking of parent, there's no way I should even have seen that movie. I think it came out in like 1983 or 84. Guys, I had nightmares for a very long time. Nothing has ever scared me that way. Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, Freddy Krueger. Oh, goodness.
Jason movies.
Yeah, those were scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to date myself. And I was very young when this movie came out, but I did watch it in the theater. I was living in the Philippines. I did watch it in the theater. I didn't have a lot of supervision. 1973's The Exorcist. Now, if you're thinking, hey, over the weekend, maybe we can go watch some old scary movies and see. I mean, this is like one of the first original scary movies. And it was starring Linda Blair. And imagine me being 8 years old and people telling me that I looked like Linda Blair.
What?
And if you look at it, because she had the, chubby, so yeah. So for the gal that starred in The Exorcist, the other movie that's really scary that still has a mark on me is Carrie. That was a scary one.
You notice I said Carrie at the same time. I still have the visual. That Carrie is just something. Yeah.
Okay, text us, though, because I'm guessing that there are some of these movies that we mentioned that you've never even heard of.
Yep.
And maybe this is a good weekend since it's going to be all rainy to catch up. But text us, give us some ideas. What are your scariest movies?
Our next guest here on the show is coming up here pretty soon in the 10 o'clock hour at 10:06. She's running for King County Executive. Candidate Claudia Balducci joins the show. Make sure you tune in next. Gee Ursula.
Invisible man sleeping in your bed. Ow, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
Not sure what to get him this holiday? You can't go wrong with a gift from Untuck It. Every guy wants to unwrap our best-selling, wrinkle-free, and performance styles. From polished shirts for holiday parties to cozy layers for family photos, you'll find everything he needs to look sharp and feel comfortable all day and night. So, get a head start on your holiday gift list. Early holiday sale happening now. Find the perfect gift for everyone on your list at untuckit.com and more than 80 stores worldwide. Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. There's word of 5 arrests, including a 16-year-old in an alleged Halloween weekend plot uncovered in Michigan.
Residents in Dearborn, Michigan, awakening to the FBI, conducting a raid and arrests, stopping what the FBI Director Kash Patel says was a potential terrorist threat during the Halloween weekend.
At 4:30 in the morning, he heard a bang, and then all of a sudden he heard bang, 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 and he thought it was like a gun.
The FBI, assisted by Michigan State Police, with raids in Dearborn and nearby Inkster, still waiting on formal charges for those arrested. Charlie Langton for CBS News, Detroit.
The federal government shutdown takes on more victims as 42 million people who get federal food assistance stand to lose it. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
In previous shutdowns, there was funding available because of various appropriations. This time, that is not the case. So for the first time in history, SNAP funding, food stamp funding, will not be available to those who need it. That deadline is tomorrow.
Allie Stefanik is with a food bank in New Jersey, aware that the need will soon rise.
At this point in time, we're expecting over 80 households to come through later. So when you talk about need growing, you can look at today as that, essentially quadrupling. So we're prepared.
A lawsuit's been filed by immigration advocates alleging inhumane conditions at the Broadview ICE facility outside Chicago. And Illinois Democrat Mike Quigley is calling for an investigation into ICE tactics.
None of this is making us safe. In fact, it's actively making our communities less safe. That's why I'm demanding the Department of Homeland Security Office of the Inspector General immediately launch an investigation into the dangerous, violent, and often illegal conduct of ICE and CBP in the Chicagoland area.
The UN Human Rights Chief is calling U.S. strikes on alleged drug boats a violation of international law, as we hear from CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The UN insists there are limits on using lethal force in law enforcement.
The U.S. must halt such attacks and take all measures necessary to prevent the extrajudicial killing of people aboard these boats, whatever the criminal conduct alleged against them.
Ravina Shamdasani, a spokeswoman for the Human Rights Office.
These attacks and their mounting human cost are unacceptable.
President Trump has justified the attacks as a necessary escalation to stem the flow of drugs into this country. The death toll from 14 strikes is now more than 60.
And checking Wall Street today, a mixed bag. The Dow is down 77 points. The S&P is up 5 points. The NASDAQ is ahead 99 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
Another atmospheric river is moving into western Washington. That story coming up. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. No major blocking problems. Watch out for construction this weekend. 2 southbound lanes of I-5 are going to close across the Ship Canal Bridge from Friday night until Monday morning. All southbound lanes of 405 will be closed through Renton this weekend. And there will also be overnight lane closures on northbound 405 through Kirkland. Traffic brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the best place to watch all your favorite sports, featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. EmeraldQueen.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. We are heading into a wet Halloween. KIRO News Radio meteorologist Ted Beener explains.
Well, we've got another atmospheric river heading here into our region. And looks like the rain is going to start along the coast during the morning and up in the Olympic Peninsula and work its way into the Puget Sound area during the afternoon.
KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin says that rain won't just be uncomfortable for trick-or-treaters.
The downpour will greatly decrease visibility, potentially putting kids in danger. Tonight, they're asking parents to put reflective gear over their kids' costumes, wear glow sticks, and carry flashlights. Now, as for drivers, police say to drive extra slow through the neighborhoods, especially since you never know when a kid may run out in front of you. A lot of roads will also be closed for various Halloween events, so plan a little extra time to get around anyways.
An independent team is investigating a deadly officer-involved shooting in Seattle's Soto district yesterday. More from KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomi-Bao.
Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes says a man was armed when officers arrived.
Armed with a knife or edge weapon, potentially an axe.
He tells us officers tried to talk the man down, but when that didn't work,
officers deployed a non-lethal impact weapon, which was ineffective.
The man pulled a gun out at some point. That's when they say more than one officer opened fire. The man died at the scene.
Governor Bob Ferguson is diverting some state funds to help stock food banks, which are expected to see a surge in visitors when SNAP food benefits run out of funding overnight. This is due to the federal government shutdown. 930,000 low-income, no-income, and disabled people in Washington state rely on those programs. Many of those food banks are already assisting furloughed federal workers. This furloughed worker says she's okay for now.
I was able to stockpile some food, so I have a little bit to get me by. I have rent for November. If this continues, I may not have rent for December.
She spoke to KIRO News Radio at a resource fair in Seattle looking at options. Seattle is giving more parents the option to save on childcare. The city's expanding income and eligibility for its child care assistance program, making 2,000 more families eligible. The new guidelines mean a family of 4 earning up to $153,000 may qualify. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today with highs in the low 50s. It's 46 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. It's October 31st. Happy Halloween to all of you. If you're new to the show, thank you for being here. And if you're always here every day, thank you for coming back. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. What does it feel like to have a very high-stress job where you are responsible for the safety of many, 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 many people, and you're not getting paid? Think about that for a second. And then coming up at 10:30, we're actually going to talk to someone who is in that exact same situation. We will have an air traffic controller from SeaTac Airport joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. As always, you are invited to join us on our text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
King County voters have made it clear they are frustrated. Homelessness, still a big problem here. The drug crisis feels out of control. Housing costs are pushing people out of the region. We talk about all of these issues so much on our show. Claudia Balducci says she has a plan to change these things. The longtime Eastside Council member is running for county executive, facing off against her colleague in the King County Council, Gurmay Zahale. And she joins us now on the show to talk about her vision for King County. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me today.
Well, thank you for joining us. So let's just start there. When it comes to homelessness, a lot of people say they don't see enough progress, even with record amounts of spending. What would you do differently that would lead to maybe more actual or visible results?
Yeah, I hear that all the time as well. People are really concerned. They're concerned because people are suffering on the streets. They're concerned because of the impacts of homelessness in our communities. And so there are a few things we can do that we're not doing very well right now. One is we could just be a lot scrappier. We have got a principle, which makes some sense, that we try to put people into the best housing possible right out the gate. I think we could get better at just finding housing that is good. It's like the first door doesn't have to be the last door. If you are in a shelter that is a congregate shelter like we have here in my district, that's okay, so long as we're making a plan to get you into your own place eventually. If everybody has to have their own place before we move anybody off the street, we'll never be able to afford to move all the people off the street. So that's one thing we could do. A second thing is, so many folks who are in homelessness are, for whatever reason, having a crisis. They are having a crisis because they're homeless. They're having a crisis that caused them to become homeless, but it's a crisis. And so we are working on creating crisis care centers where people can go and get help for these problems and be off the streets. But if you're in such a crisis that you can't make a good decision, those are voluntary situations where you raise your hand and say, I'm ready for help. A person who is actively using fentanyl, who is actively in a mental health crisis, may not be able to raise their hands and say, I'm ready for help. So I'm proposing that we create a place that is, right now what we have for those people is the streets, jail, and Harborview. That's it. I'm proposing we create another place that is, if you are going to be arrested because what you're doing on the streets is actually breaking the law, instead of going to jail, you could go to a place where you get treatment, get sober, and then get connected to services so that you start to stop the revolving door. And the third thing I'll say is we could coordinate a whole lot better. We have 39 cities in this county. Almost all of them are spending a lot of money one way or another on homelessness, but we don't have good alignment on goals or strategies. And that's what KCRHA, the Regional Homelessness Authority, was supposed to do. We're not getting there, so we need to take another swing at that. And I have a good sense of how to do that as a former person who worked in a city government myself.
Well, I'm glad you said that, and hello to you, Claudia.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
No doubt. Right now in King County, people always say, well, how come, had this asked me the other day, how come Seattle has everyone there that are unhoused right there in Seattle? And then I just simply say, because Seattle has the services, right? And right now, Seattle, most of the time, 90% of the time, is on the hook for those services. If you were the King County executive, how would you start to talk to the Burrians, all the other folks in King County, and say, hey, Seattle is not about to be on the hook for all of this stuff? What would be your plan to make other cities say, okay, it's on you too? Yeah.
Well, let me just share, been there. Like, I come from Bellevue. I'm a former mayor of the city of Bellevue. And when I was mayor, we had 0 permanent homeless shelters in all of East King County. Think of that. The entire eastern part of King County had 0 permanent homeless shelters. And I said, we have to have this kind of service here too. We have people in need here too. So I worked with the mayors of Redmond and Kirkland, and we built collectively the first suite of homeless shelters in East King County. We created the first permanent supportive housing in East King County. And so what I hear, as to your point, what I hear is, oh, she's importing Seattle's problems to the suburbs. And what I always say is, oh no, we have been exporting our problems forever. So I think that by example, we work with our colleagues in the suburbs so that we are all doing our fair share and serving the people who want to and do live in our communities, as opposed to exporting them all, frankly, to certain parts of Seattle. Pioneer Square is like where most of the services are, and you see it there every day. So we do have to have a regional approach. Everyone should do their part. And I believe that I'm very well situated because I've started that work already to say, come on, let's do this together.
You are hearing the voice for the candidate for King County Executive, Claudia Balducci, here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Now, this question, because you just made the comment, you said that you were mayor of Bellevue, and you said at the time there were zero permanent housing. So I would like to know, in your opinion, how did that happen? How did that happen to where places like Bellevue and some of these places all pushed it off on Seattle? Help me understand.
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. It's a great question. First of all, these problems have grown over time. So what might have been a small problem here in East King County once upon a time, decades ago, had been growing without us really addressing it the way we should have. In other words, it creeps up on you a bit. The second thing is, a lot of places it's a fear-based response, right? Like, I don't want that kind of service here in my community, in my neighborhood, because it's going to bring crime, it's going to be dangerous. And so people have this natural instinct to push it off. And for too long, the local governments entertained that fear and said, instead of working with it, working through it and doing what we should do, we said, oh no, our constituents are afraid, let's just hold the line. And so it takes leadership, it takes partnerships. I'm really proud that there are local elected officials all around King County now. We've got 39 cities, and most of them have got some people who are raising their hands and saying, we need housing here. We need services here. We've been building that muscle over time because people are, and it happens in Seattle too. People get afraid. They don't want infrastructure in their communities. You need to work with the community, address the reasonable fears, because there are reasonable ones, and do what you have to do anyway, as opposed to pushing things off.
So you talked about adding an additional place for people who have a drug addiction and who are refusing to get help. I want to have you listen to a question that was asked to the mayoral candidates, and I want you to answer this question. So it was the Latino channel asking both the incumbent mayor, Bruce Harrell, and his challenger, Katie Wilson, a question about homelessness.
Homeless people be allowed to stay in tents in parks? Major Harrell.
No.
Candidate Wilson.
This is hard for a yes or no question. I'm going to pass on this one. I can't really answer yes or no.
I'm not going to give you a chance to pass on this. How would you answer this?
It's funny. I talked to them yesterday and I did answer this question, and my answer is no. But it is a hard yes or no question because there's an explanation that comes with the no. And if you will allow me a few more words, they didn't.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. To me, the question was asking, should we get comfortable with the idea that people will pitch tents in and live in parks because there's nowhere else to go? And the answer to that is absolutely not. We should make sure that there are other places for them to go and then move them there, because people just taking over public spaces like that closes off the public space to everybody else. And frankly, encampments, when they get to a certain size, when they start to have a certain kind of activity, they can be dangerous places. We had a big encampment just south of the King County Courthouse where I work for a while, and people were stabbed. There were rapes. There's a lot of drug use. You have drug overdoses. It can be a very unsafe environment. It's incumbent on us, Mayor Harrell, myself, others, to make sure there's a place for people to go and then insist that they go there, not say whenever you're ready, because this is public land and it should be open to everybody.
Yeah, Claudia, I'm glad you didn't pass, because if you would have passed on that question, I would have probably just shut my microphone off. Hey, how in the world? We need people to make grown decisions. I want you to make tough decisions. Speaking of tough decisions, let's talk about money. Money comes up a lot when we're talking about what's going on. And right now, you're talking about King County, right? The biggest county when it comes to money here in the state, right? There's a lot of revenue that comes through here. We're talking about billions of dollars. As county executive, how can the people of King County trust that the money being spent will be spent where it matters?
Yeah, that is a top issue for the next executive, whoever that person may be, myself or my colleague. We've got to get on that immediately because we are losing public trust. We had an audit earlier this year that uncovered some really a major lack of oversight, overfunding for human services. We're supposed to be helping young people with this money. It's particularly around youth services, get education, get job opportunities, get, sort of the things they need so that they launch and thrive. And that's a strategy to avoid them being in juvenile detention or other kinds of crisis situations. So it's super important. The voters generously voted for this money. And the audit came back and said we were not providing oversight. We were paying bills we shouldn't pay. We were paying contractors we shouldn't pay. And there were conflicts of interest. So we need to get on top of it and show at the basis that what we're doing is legal and accountable. Then how about we're spending the money for the things we said we would spend it on, and ultimately we're having the results we said we would have, which is more kids being successful, fewer kids in detention. So the next executive is going to have to be right on top of this.
Now, Claudia,
number one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, Claudia, you know my follow-up is going to be, because you just said something. You said,
I was getting ready to say what I would do. What would you do?
No.
Yeah.
You brought
So,
up you brought up that the lack of oversight, and the audit came, and people, and Ursula, by the way, Ursula talks about it in her top stories all the time. We want to know why. Why was there a lack of oversight? You've been in this game a long time. Help us understand.
So what appears to have happened is we adopted a bunch of new funding and expanded funding. And as the money went up, we did not staff up with financial people who could help provide training to our contractors, because we do this all through nonprofits that we contract with, and oversight. And so because we didn't have enough people to be looking, there wasn't enough looking, problems go undetected. So that seems to be the primary problem. Also, I don't think we have best practices. And let me just pivot real quick to what I would do. First, we got to finish the audit. The audit only looked at 30 some odd contracts out of almost 600 contracts. We got to look at all of them.
Mm-hmm.
We got to know the extent of the problem so that we can know the extent of the solution. At the same time, we immediately start doing more financial oversight and support and education. We want these institutions to succeed. They're the ones helping the kids in this case, but we have to help them do so, and we have to make sure they're doing so. And then we have to be clear, what are the outcomes we want to see? I want to see graduation rates go up. I want to see incarceration rates go down. Whatever the outcomes are, we need to say what they are and then report them to the public regularly. Is this money working? And I think those are some of the things we have just got to get on right away.
With such a gross mismanagement of a lot of funds, were there any heads that rolled? Was there any accountability?
I'm not aware yet. There is an investigation going on that has not completed yet in the executive branch. But I'll tell you, if I get over there, I'm going to want to have some new people who are in charge of making sure this all works, because we can't afford. It's so easy to lose trust, and it happens quickly, and it's slow to build back, and we got to start building back right away.
For sure. Housing affordability, big topic too. Homeowners watching property taxes go up and up and up. Renters can't keep up either. What would you do to bring relief as King County executive?
So I think I made my reputation as an elected official working on transit. I've been fighting to expand the trains and the buses and everything, but you can't work on transportation for very long without realizing that half of our transportation problems are housing problems. People have to move far away from where they want to be, and then they got to travel all day to get to where they got to go. And so I've been working on housing solutions for a while now, organizing all the cities and the county to increase the supply. That means look at our regulations, look at our land use, look at our permitting requirements, all the things we do as government to slow down housing, to stop it from being built. We've been stepping on the hose, is what I've been saying. As we've allowed and encouraged jobs galore, we have not allowed the housing market to keep up, which it could have done if we had allowed it. So first of all, get off the hose. Second, because the land is so valuable here right now, it's impossible for the market rate housing to meet all the needs. We need more subsidized housing. And government in the county can do that in a number of ways. We've got really cool programs that we should expand, where we take government land. Right now, Sound Transit's got a big program where when we're done building a station for light rail, there's usually a big flat piece of land right next to it where we were staging that construction. And now we're done with it and we don't need it anymore. It's a beautifully buildable piece of land right next to a light rail station. So we've been discounting or giving that land away so that it can be built with lots of housing, especially affordable housing, right in a really great spot for people to have access to all the things they need. We could do a lot more of that. We have got funding sources that help to subsidize housing, and we've got to stabilize the market. Right now, the affordable housing market is really struggling. They're having trouble keeping tenants. And so they need some help as well. And that means we're going to need to direct some of our funding towards just helping them stay open so we don't go in the wrong direction. But it's got to be a kind of like pushing the rock up the hill, a dozen little things. I will just say my colleague on the campaign trail announced one big thing. We're going to borrow $1 billion and spend it on housing. We did a study on that and it does not pencil. It doesn't work. It sounds huge and brilliant because it's kind of pie in the sky. We should use debt like a mortgage. When you got to buy something, you don't have all the money. That's very reasonable in some cases, but we're not going to borrow $1 billion and suddenly build a whole bunch of housing. It just doesn't work.
We're actually out of time, but I'm going to give you one extra minute just to answer the question, because you brought up your challenger, Gourmet Zale, and what because I've heard people describe both of you as very similar. What are the differences between you, and why do you think you are the better candidate?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to say a minute. There's two big differences between us. One is I just have a lot more experience and a bigger record of accomplishing big things. Light rail is here in East King County because of my work, because I fought and won political and legal battles, and because I pushed the agency to get it open. And like, you can look at things like that. Thousands of homes we've built through this program and other programs I've been instrumental in doing. I've personally championed arts and culture programs to help lift people up, and educational programs. I just have decades of accomplishment that you can look at. The second thing is, when it comes to our record on some of the key issues that we have been talking about, I'm just the more consistent candidate. Say on public safety. I am a former director of the county jail system. I know how bad it is when our system fails and where people end up, but I also know how to make it work. I ran a jail reform effort that was very successful. My colleague ran on closing down the juvenile detention facility when he first ran for office, and on deprioritizing funding for law enforcement. And however you feel about those positions, he changed them now that he's running for higher office. So I just say that I'm the consistent person. You know what you're getting if you vote for me.
Claudia Balducci, thank you so much. We will continue to watch your race. The election is on Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I'd really love to come back sometime. Thanks.
Yes, for sure. And just ahead in the 11 o'clock hour, we will have Gourmet Zahale. We have reached out to him, but have not been able to get him on our show. But Seattle's Morning News did have him, so you'll get to hear from him in the 11 o'clock hour.
Okay. Ursula, we have a guest. It's going to be SCA air traffic controller. The people that are in charge of, the people that were in charge of me getting to work today. As you all know, I flew in today. And by the way, shout out to TSA. They were incredible, even though they're not getting paid. Well, we're going to have a air traffic controller. Join us next. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
Top of the hour news, Heather was doing the Mpox story, and I said, what's Mpox?
The Jake and Spike Show.
I remember when the transition happened because the word monkeypox was deemed insulting.
Weekdays noon to 3.
Who is it insulting to?
Monkeys.
Anytime a monkey heard you say monkeypox, they just kind of side-eyed you doing, hey, what are you talking about?
It's a show of respect.
Those primates were so sensitive. Pardon me, monkeys.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. It's such a joy for me to be joined by Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, I've heard so much about traveling physical therapists. What's that mean to you and IRG?
That's a great question, Brock. Traveling physical therapy right now, I think, is a fad, and a lot of young therapists are doing it, but they're missing opportunities that we provide here at IRG. And those things we provide at IRG are really important, and that's being part of a team and treating patients, building relationships, engaging with our community. That is so important. The other thing is they're not getting paid time off. A crew are paid time off, and they do not get continuing education, professional growth, and that is so important as a young therapist to have access to professional growth. The other thing is we have an enhanced compensation program here at IRG that our physical therapists, our occupational therapists can increase their earnings by engagement, outcomes, and intervention. That's what we're all about. We're about building a great culture for young therapists and all clinicians to work here.
Openings across the whole company. Head over to irgpt.com/careers, irgpt.com/careers.
If your commercial building is over 20,000 square feet, Washington's Clean Buildings Law not only probably applies to you, but goes into effect as soon as July of 2026. Puget Sound Energy's free Clean Buildings Accelerator is here to help. You'll get step-by-step guidance, easy energy tracking tools, ready-to-use plan templates, and a year of ongoing support. It's a simple way to save energy and lower costs. Sign up at pse.com/clean buildings.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
This week at Jazz Alley, Elvin Bishop's Big Fun Trio joins forces with Grammy-winning bluesman Cedric Burnside for 4 nights of down-home, high-energy blues. Shows run Thursday through Sunday. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. State leaders and nonprofits are scrambling. SNAP food benefits are set to expire for nearly 1 million Washington residents at midnight.
To help the 930,000 Washingtonians who rely on SNAP for groceries, Governor Bob Ferguson is directing $2 million each week to food banks. Nonprofits have been stocking up on supplies. And Kelly Watkins with the Edmonds Food Bank says they're teaming up with restaurants to provide extra and repurposed food.
The combination of inflation, increased grocery costs, the shutdown, SNAP cuts, all of that is hard.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Members of the military who have not been paid because of the government shutdown are also turning to food banks. Aaron Chizeski is with the nonprofit Food Lifeline, which is helping Joint Base Lewis McChord families.
It was 200 military families who were needing support for Thanksgiving groceries. That list is now surged up to 800 families.
Republicans and Democrats in Congress continue to blame each other for the shutdown. 5 people, including 2 teenagers, have been arrested in Dearborn, Michigan, in connection with a suspected ISIS-inspired terror plot.
Residents in Dearborn, Michigan, awakening to the FBI, conducting a raid and arrests, stopping what the FBI Director Kash Patel says was a potential terrorist threat during the Halloween weekend.
At 4:30 in the morning, he heard a bang, and then all of a sudden he heard bang, 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 and he thought it was like a gun.
The FBI, assisted by Michigan State Police, with raids in Dearborn and nearby Inkster. Charlie Langton for CBS News, Detroit.
A Lakewood man is facing charges after allegedly posting veiled death threats toward Washington Governor Bob Ferguson on social media. Prosecutors tell the News Tribune 34-year-old Casey Patterson repeatedly shared photos of Ferguson's front door on X and made alarming comments about firearms and security. He has pleaded not guilty and is being held on $200,000 bail. Tech earnings have yielded a mixed bag of results for investors. More from CBS's Jason Brooks.
The so-called Magnificent Seven tech firms have largely carried the stock market to record highs in 2025, but market expectations have proven tough to reach, with Meta Platforms, Microsoft, and Tesla selling off on their respective earnings results, while Amazon and Google have been cheered by the market for strong quarters, with Amazon stock racing higher by double digits thanks to another blockbuster quarter for its cloud business, AWS.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 133 points, NASDAQ up 82. KIRO Newsradio traffic in North Bend. Troopers tell us only one lane is opened on eastbound and westbound I-90 because of a serious injury accident. You're jammed up in both directions approaching the Outlet Mall. In Seattle, a disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on I-5 southbound near Union Street. Not seeing a big backup there. Travel times overall are pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 21. Renton to Bellevue, 13. Tacoma to Olympia, 30. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today with highs in the low 50s. It's 49 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Friday to all of you. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO, our text line. Right now, we need to talk about folks who are working without getting a paycheck. And many federal employees are doing that right now. Imagine having a job as stressful as being an air traffic controller. You go to work and you are not getting paid. We are actually joined by one of those workers. His name is Chris, and he is an air traffic controller at SEA. And before we bring him on, I just want to point out that any opinions that he shares are his personal opinions. They're not reflective of or affiliated with the FAA. And I just want to say that because we sure appreciate you joining us, Chris, at a time like this. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Well, more importantly, how are you? How has this situation affected your day-to-day life, both professionally and personally?
Well, so far right now, personally, it's okay. I've done things in the past to be ready for kind of things like this, but it will start wearing on me longer it goes. But we change things up and just move on. But professionally wise, it's, we all are going through the same thing. So we are all professional. We show up to work and we do our job. And yeah, that's kind of about it. It sucks not getting paid, but we just show up to work because we need to.
Now, Chris, I'm assuming that you and your coworkers, like all of you, are going in, doing your job, doing what you're supposed to. However, not everyone is the same. How are you compared to your coworkers when it comes to this? What's going on?
I'm good. I think I'm doing good. It's all we just.
Well, what I mean, Chris, what I mean is this: you're doing good. I'm asking you: are there anybody that you work with that you could say, yeah, they're struggling a little bit, and I could see some of them not coming to work? I know you're good, but I want to hear compared to your coworkers.
At where I see, like I think the majority of people are good. We're tired. Yeah, morale is a little low, but that's just years of being short-staffed too. But I've heard of some people having to take out loans that they decided to, things like that. Just, no one's had to take out a second job. No one's calling in sick like at our facility just because they need to go get another job, as I know now. But I can't think of it happening in the future either.
Okay, Chris, let's talk about something that I know many of our listeners are probably wondering, given, again, you're working under conditions that are not ideal, knowing that you don't have a paycheck, and good that you're at least stable at the moment. But how do you assure the flying public that this is not affecting safety and performance in the control tower?
It's because we value our job. And we come every day to do our best. And we are very good at turning off the outside noise and coming in and doing what we have to do.
We're joined here by Chris. Chris is air traffic controller, and he joins the Gee and Ursula Show. You said you don't know how much longer, because right now, you kind of prepare for this. And then, your coworkers, you guys are excellent. You guys are pros at your job. Today is Halloween. It's October 31st. In your opinion, how long do you think that this can go before we, the public, really start to see a problem?
Oh, that's a good question. I really can't answer that. I don't know. We've only been in one other one like this before, and it's kind of uncharted territory once again. It's, it gets stressful after not receiving a couple paychecks.
How about for you, Chris? How about for you? I know it's 35 days has been the longest, and right now you're being good. And can you make it another 30 days?
Yes, I could. But then, it's going to be a little, it's got to get harder. It's like, it's not ideal. But I know there's probably a few other people that won't be able to. I don't know what's going to happen.
Chris, you mentioned that you were already short-staffed and dealing with staffing shortages for a while now. How do you think events like this and the shutdown, not getting paid, will affect efforts to attract or retain skilled controllers?
That's an excellent question. Actually, this is the first time that I've been working for 20 years now almost, and this is the first time they've deemed the training facilities essential, which is a huge step because usually during a shutdown, it backlogs all the new people coming in. So I'm hoping that they keep them going, and because we don't need the training departments to shut down and get another backlog and get behind on hiring.
Okay, well, not all my questions are going to be gloom and doom. Now I got to ask you some couple things that I've always wanted to know about the air traffic controller. Do y'all drink a lot of coffee, man?
Coffee, energy drinks, you could name it, yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is it free? Is the coffee and the energy drinks, is it free up there?
Well, the coffee is, but, it's coffee clubs and
do you stand? Hey, Chris, do you stand or sit down when you're working?
I sit down. I sit down. Other places are standing up. Yeah.
Oh,
I know. He's done.
Oh.
You said you did it. You've done it for 20 years now.
Yeah, coming up on almost 20 years.
Wow. Okay, if you had a chance, and we only have 30 seconds, if you had a chance for the folks who actually can do something to change this, what is your message? If your representatives, if your senators are listening, what is your message to them as an air traffic controller?
Oh, man. I just want to get paid. I'm working 6-day work weeks and not receive a paycheck, and so.
Aye.
So I just want to get paid is all. That's all.
Hey, Chris, I just want to say, tell you and all your coworkers and everybody you work with, we appreciate you. I've never talked to an air traffic controller before. I just want to say thank you because y'all always have good days. You feel me? It's like this weekend, we need Jackson Smith and Jigba to go off for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Y'all be having 150 yards, 2 touchdowns every day.
Heck yeah, I hear that.
Thank you for what you do, and thank you for joining us, Chris. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, coming up next, scenarios. Gee Ursula.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO News Radio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO News Radio. On 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendonitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee.
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Hey, Mike Salk here. Who's got family coming to town this holiday season? I know I do. My parents will be staying at my house for a few days over Thanksgiving. And obviously, you want to make sure your home is prepared. You want to present a warm environment. And that starts with a well-heated, properly insulated home. Make sure your insulation is ready for that challenge this year by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come to your house, just like they did at mine, do a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and your attic. If your home has damaged insulation or no insulation in the attic or crawl space, get it fixed before the cold weather really shows up. If you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95%. But you got to act now because many of these rebates are ending at the end of the year, including federal incentives. Call Crawl Pros. They're the crawl space experts, and learn what's going on behind that crawl space and attic hatch for free. Then see what energy rebates you're eligible for. Go to crawlpros.com.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Right now at Les Schwab Tires, it's the Fall Tire Fest. Save up to $120 instantly on select sets of 4 all-weather tires. You'll get year-round, all-weather performance, no matter what Mother Nature throws your way. And every tire comes with America's best tire warranty. 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Just another way you'll get more from less. Stop by a store or shop online at leschwab.com. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Scenarios. Let's go.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
We just got this one from one of our listeners. It just texts in and says, one of my favorite parts of Halloween is meeting the neighbors. Unfortunately, we don't get trick-or-treaters because we live on an acreage down a long, dark driveway. So we go to the housing development across the street with our daughters. I love trick-or-treating with the kids, but my significant other thinks that the girls at 11 and 13 are too old for me to go along with them. He thinks I should just hang around the street chatting with the other parents. I don't go with the kids because I believe that they can't handle being alone. I just like meeting the neighbors, telling them how much I love their decorations, petting a dog or two, or if someone wants to hand me a Twix. Who am I to say no? I'm also there if other kids need me. Last year, a little one slipped on their costume, and I was able to help them up and prevent them from getting upset. Not to mention, my girls have no problem with me coming along. In fact, this year, my 13-year-old insists on it since we are wearing costumes of characters from the same anime. 888-973-5476. Text in. Ursula, you have to bat first.
To heck with your husband or significant other. I would, okay, and I say this as someone who is past this parenting stage, but if your girls are asking, or one's even insisting at 13 that you join them in going trick-or-treating and you love it and you get an occasional Twix, and who are you to say no? You gave all the reasons as to why you should continue. And your husband wants you to, or your partner wants you to hang out with other parents. Well, if you don't want to, I mean, if that doesn't sound exciting to you and you would rather go with your daughters, go with your daughters. I mean, I understand. I think that what I'm getting from this is that the partner thinks, oh, you're not giving our kids a chance to be independent.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of time for that.
I mean this with all due respect, because I know you're listening right now. I mean this with all due respect. You just said yourself, you said in their scenarios that you guys live on a long acreage, dark, long, dark driveway and everything. It's dark in the neighborhood. Your girls are 11 and 13 years old. Please go with them. Please go with them to trick-or-treat. Especially, like Ursula said, they are asking you to come. Please go. 11 and 13? I'm sorry. Just 2025. You got to go with them kids.
Okay. I
I agree, go with the kids, but I also think an 11 and a 13-year-old would be fine by themselves.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather hang out with the kids, too. I'd rather be hanging out with a bunch of kids than, like, standing around on the street chatting with adults. But the one thing that stuck out to me is your 13-year-old insisting on you coming. I've thought about this. I haven't had to confront it yet. But the amount of time in which you are still cool to your kids and they want to hang out with you is brief.
It is.
And I think I stopped wanting to hang out with my parents in probably 4th grade. You know, I didn't want to be seen in the same place with them. Like, if I could go off anywhere else by myself, I would. So just cherish that. Why are you laughing?
B and Puyallup. B and Puyallup says, crazy. First of all, before I read it, I want you guys to know B and Puyallup is this is his favorite time of the show.
Yeah.
This lady sounds like she's the one who shows up an hour early for the party and is the last one to leave. She needs to stay home.
B and Puyallup, I disagree with you.
I bet if she does, she helps set up and does dishes.
She sounds like a great mom. You know what else I'm hearing from this?
What?
She is someone who does not like the little chit chat with people she doesn't really want to hang out with. And again, if you have the opportunity to choose and you enjoy it so much more being with your kids and they want you to be with them, more power to you.
Ursula, it's being serious. Are you really okay with 11 and 13-year-old girls going door to door trick-or-treating by themselves?
Yeah, I told you. Oh, gosh, you weren't here yesterday when I said my heart was crushed when at 13, my best friend Gigi and I were told that we were too old. Don't you think you're too old to go trick-or-treating? No.
So, but 11,
so you went by yourself.
11 and 13 is good to go houses by themselves?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm outdated.
Why? What?
I would not let 11 and 13-year-old girls, 2 girls, go out by themselves trick-or-treating at night.
Oh.
Why?
Well, because
why?
There's all sorts of bad things that happen to young girls at night.
Yeah, unless it's on your street and you know the neighbors, but you're going to an entire different neighborhood?
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, so you gave a whole nother reason to do that.
Oh, sorry, Nick. Nick, what's up, man?
You know, I'm with the mom. I'm not on the side of the significant other. You go with the girls. It's about making the memories, being there for the moments, not to mention what she said. It is 2025. I think 12, 13 is still pretty young on the streets on your own. So you can tell the dude he can stay at home and you can catch up with your daughter soon after letting him know that. And I think it's fitting that they've got the house out there in the middle of nowhere with no neighborhood because it'll be nice if he doesn't have to deal with any of the neighbors.
Kirk in Mount Vernon says, gee, no, you are not outdated. Absolutely not. That is a hard no. He says, no way my 11-year-old and my 13-year-old are going by themselves. Now, I just remember what happened when I was 13 and I was going by myself. Actually, I was going by myself when I was 9.
Barry in the 253 says, hell no, not my daughter.
In the entire history of Halloween, have you ever heard a news story of some kid getting snatched off a porch?
Whoa. I'm from Chicago, man. First of all, do you know the reckless stuff that has been happening back in the 80s and 90s when it comes to Halloween time? Yeah, matter of fact, in some neighborhoods, sometimes it was so bad it wasn't even reported.
Okay, so let's ask the question then. Because what age is too old to go trick-or-treating, and then what age is too young to go by yourself if you can't go by yourself at 11 and 13? 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
All right. More to Gee Ursula Show.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The FBI says it's thwarted a potential terrorist threat in Michigan. 5 people have been arrested, but Anna Schechter reports it isn't clear what they'll be charged with.
They had leads. They were working a case over the last several months, and they knew where to be, and that's how this happened. But it is unclear if this was just chatter and if it was actually going to be a real thing in real life.
With the government shutdown continuing, President Trump's urging Republicans to do away with the filibuster. But Senate Majority Leader John Thune's opposition remains unchanged, according to a spokesman. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
It is a very tricky road, but if you're the president looking at all of this, you're probably saying, just get it over with. The reality, though, of what that means for the future is very different.
A small coffee shop in Portland, Oregon stepped up to help feed those losing SNAP benefits and inadvertently launched an international fundraising campaign, as Heather Roberts reports.
Heretic Coffee created the Snap Breakfast, a free breakfast burrito and coffee, no questions asked.
It doesn't seem right to serve food to paying customers when other people are going hungry.
Owner Josh White says social media fans asked for a way to help cover his costs. The shop has since collected almost $300,000, donated by 10,000 people all over the world.
When the system fails us, it is up to all of us to take care of all of us.
Heather Roberts for CBS News, Portland, Oregon.
There have been a lot of questions about President Trump's threat to restart nuclear weapons testing. Linda Kenyon has an update.
Speaking to reporters on Air Force One, President Trump said, quote, "We're going to do some testing. Yeah, and other countries do it. If they're going to do it, we're going to do it." The president first raised the subject in South Korea, where he was attending an Asia summit. His post on social media happened shortly before he met with China's President Xi to discuss tariffs. That post raised international concerns about whether this would amount to a violation of nuclear test bans in place since the 1990s. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
An artificial intelligence search engine will have a very extensive photograph collection at its disposal. Business reporter Jason Brooks has more.
Getty Images announced a deal with San Francisco AI search firm Perplexity, sending Getty stock initially soaring higher. The multi-year agreement gives Perplexity search and discovery tools access to Getty's vast library of around 150 million photographs, with Perplexity adding image credits and links to the source.
On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are mixed. The Dow is off 42 points. The Nasdaq's higher by 138. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Halloween is serving up some scary weather, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. Here's Lori.
Thanks, Heather. And that accident you've been talking about, I-90 at 202, still has a couple of left lanes blocked. Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Looks like there is going to be delays for a while this afternoon, I-90 at 202. It's both directions of I-90 because of this injury collision. It's not slowing you down, though. Bellevue to Issaquah, just a 9-minute drive. Seattle to Everett, an easy 25-minute drive. Now, if you're heading from Linwood into Seattle, that's just 15 minutes. And I am seeing a little bit of a slowdown on I-5 as you're approaching State Route 18, and North 5 is a little bit of a slowdown also on 16 eastbound. It's just right before you get onto the bridge. You can always listen for your favorite local sports content on the FM dial at 97.3 HD2. I'm Lori. KIRO, real-time traffic.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. If you're heading out for Halloween festivities, take note.
It's going to be a soaker for Halloween and trick-or-treaters.
KIRO News Radio meteorologist Ted Beener says another atmospheric river is heading our way. It's not expected to be as severe as last weekend's, but it will reduce visibility. So if your kids are trick-or-treating, consider adding reflective tape or other accessories to their costumes and stick to the sidewalks, not the street. Drivers need to be vigilant, too, as KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Ottley explains.
Last Halloween, we had 3 kids hit by cars in Tacoma.
We got a long road to recovery.
It happened to Marissa Fullerton's nephew, CJ, then 13, sent to the ICU with a fractured skull.
He's off his breathing tube, and he isn't really talking, but when his dad talks to him and says, "Do you understand me?" he squeezes his fingers.
Rain could begin during peak trick-or-treating hours, somewhere between 5 to 8 p.m., as thousands of kids flock the roads to grab candy.
A use of force team is investigating after Seattle police officers shot and killed an armed man in the Soto district yesterday afternoon. Chief Sean Barnes tells KIRO 7 TV.
The person turned toward the officer. The officers encountered this person still armed with a knife or edged weapon, potentially an axe.
He says officers tried talking to the man and even deployed what he calls a non-lethal impact weapon. It didn't work. Officers say at one point the man pulled a gun on them. They opened fire, killing him. 930,000 low-income, no-income, and disabled people in Washington state rely on SNAP food benefits that will run out of funding overnight because of the federal government shutdown. Governor Bob Ferguson is diverting some state funds to help stock food banks, which are expected to see a surge in visitors. Many are already assisting furloughed federal workers. Some of those workers just got a little help in Seattle.
The city of Seattle partnered with Congresswoman Pamela Jayapal for a resource fair. Those affected by the government shutdown were able to access immediate support with food and bills and learn about the city's affordability and utility assistance programs. Caressa is a federal worker in Seattle, her husband in the military in Georgia.
I have a mortgage in Georgia, I have rent in Seattle due, all on the same days.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today with highs in the low 50s. It's 50 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is
is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh, it's Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Halloween, October 31st. Now listen, if you're new to the show, I'm going to say something that only people that know that come to the show all the time. Guess what base I'm on? But only I'm doing it earlier in the 11 o'clock hour. I'm rounding third base, Ursula.
And guess what you don't have open?
No, actually it's open.
Okay.
No, it's actually open. But that's only because I forgot to close it earlier. But your boy,
well, we need you. We need you to have it open right now because we're going to get into some meaty stuff here.
Oh, meaty?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Even though it's Fresh Friday, but we're gonna have fun too.
I'm on third base.
You know, on our scenarios.
Yeah.
You know, there's sometimes you have a moment to reflect.
Yeah.
And then realize you're wrong on something.
Yeah.
I'm wrong on that. I was wrong on what I said about 11 and 13-year-old girls. I love what Chelsea just texted in, and I thought you made the points great, G. Chelsea texted in and says, don't let those girls go out on their own. You are asking for a problem. If they're young enough to want to trick or treat, they're young enough to be supervised. You don't get to do a redo on your child's safety. A lot of you were weighing in on that. I realized, too, that, yeah, it was a very different time when I was trick-or-treating. Mm-hmm. And did I have close calls even then? I've shared with you some of the close calls I've had just in my life as a young girl.
Sure have.
So, like, why wouldn't you think that something could happen, A? And then, B, I also had boys when it came to, and I don't want to say that nothing could happen to them, but maybe I was clouded by that. Again, it depends on the circumstance. If it's a neighborhood that you know really, really, really well, and you know that they're just going to basically go to neighbors and they have a phone and know what to do, et cetera, okay, fine. But the mom who texted in that scenario, I think is just going to have a great time with her girls tonight.
Yeah, going on out there with your girls.
So I love that. The other thing is I wanted just to remind you that we've got Agree to Disagree coming up in our 11:30 segment. As always, you are invited to join us on our text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. In a few minutes, you will hear from the other candidate for King County Executive, Gurmai Zalai. We will have some of that for you coming up later in this segment. But right now,
top stories at 11
on the Gee and Ursula Show.
So we talked about this, G, when the city of Seattle said they were going to try this new approach to fight all the sex trafficking along Aurora Avenue.
Right.
And city leaders said that they were going to send what they call Dear John letters to the people who are suspected of cruising area to buy sex. If someone's car is repeatedly spotted along the stretch of Aurora between 85th and 140th, police say they will identify the owner and send a letter to their home. The part that we had not talked about is that it's not just to their home. It could also go to their workplace. Now, it's meant as a warning, not a criminal charge, but it makes the message clear. Stop or you will face prosecution. Detective Maurice Washington with Seattle Police says the goal is to cut demand for sex trafficking, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry in the U.S. And he says most of the people working on Aurora specifically are being exploited. They're not choosing that life. So far this month, Seattle has sent out 21 letters, and the city's public safety office says that kind of notice deters nearly 80% of those caught once from doing it again.
Wow. Well, text in if you got a letter. I would love to hear from you. No, I mean...
Well, so far there's only 21, so yeah.
I'm sure.
We'll keep you anonymous.
We'll keep you anonymous. Let us know if you got that letter. You know what I mean? Let us know if you're going to stop or continue. I was thinking about this, Ursula. Okay, sending it to your job. Look, okay, how about this? I think that's a bit too far. However, if you guys want to do like some, back in Craigslist days, like if we missed each other or help wanted and all that kind of stuff, just do something in the Seattle Times and put a section of post these cars right there so we can all see it. I like that better than posting it and sending it to your job.
Wait. What? You want the Dear John letter posted in the classifieds of the well, there's no classifieds. People just don't even look there. There is no classifieds.
Have a link.
You'd rather
have a link that we can go to and we can see all the people. Like,
you think it's going too far to go to the workplace, but you would put it out there for even more people to see than just your workplace?
Yeah. See, when I was in school, I don't know if you guys did this. Did you guys ever do Student of the Month?
Yes.
Yeah, and so in our school, they had a few of them that qualified for Student of the Month. This would be like John of the Month. You feel me? Like John of the Month. Like, who is that John of the Month? And so every November 1st or every 1st of the month, Ursula, when you go to Top Stories or maybe down at We Need to Talk, at 9:47, we have a time where we talk about the John of the Month. Hey, this week's John of the Month is Billy. Billy looks like he works at Boeing. And then, we talk about it.
Like a little public notice. Yeah.
You don't like that?
The going to the workplace? No, my initial reaction, you heard me this morning. I was like, oh, yeah. Because I think it is an awful problem. I think that there are these young girls who are being taken advantage of on Aurora, and it's just sickening. If you've ever driven there, you see it, and it's sad because they're very, very young. And, yeah, the way I think it's going to work is that if you stop those who are soliciting that sex, basically paying for it, and what better way? I was into the home one, like send it home, but going to the workplace now, do you want to lose your entire career over it?
Well, here's the question, because you would assume that the detectives know and they're verifying who's actually purchasing sex and not people that just happen to park there frequently. But that's the danger when you have some sort of public accounting with no public process or due process to show what the evidence is.
Yeah.
That kind of concerns me.
So, yeah, and some 425 also said, so if you work in the area and you're there every day and, would you?
No,
I don't think they've only sent out 21 letters. They're being very specific.
Listen. They're not
sending it randomly.
If you're going to your job, right, you're fine, no doubt. But let's be real. And I'm listening and I'm asking, when's the last time that you circled the block a bunch of times and you weren't looking for a parking spot on Aurora?
I think before they do that, they're going to have a lot of evidence.
And by the way, they see you roll your window down. All that's on camera. You know what I mean? So John of the Month have an opportunity to celebrate you.
Okay, text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Someone already hates your idea because they say John of the Month. Jamie in Seattle says John of the Month sounds like a great way to get sued, and I would tend to agree.
Sue for what?
Violation of I don't know going. I don't know. I'd have to look, but it sounds like.
Isn't it public record if you get arrested?
Depends on how hard you go on someone, but that's public record.
But
so when we've had in the past, when we've had celebrities or somebody that get caught that way, it becomes public record.
Point.
So how are you getting sued?
Yeah, good point.
I mean, if you go on the air and you say this is a dirt bag and whatever, and you disdain their character, but if you just post it, you're good. I'm
not disdaining character. I just would go to the Student of the Month and I would just read the news, just like Ursula does every single day.
Okay, tell us what you think. Libel, slander, that's what I was trying to get at. Okay, so that could be a potential thing too, but it's not libel or slander if it's truthful, right? Okay. Anyway, hey, I want to make sure that we have a chance to do this because last hour, in case you missed it, we had an interview with King County executive candidate Claudia Balducci. She is currently a King County council member.
Yeah.
Her colleague on the council, Gurmai Zahalai, is also running for county executive. He spoke with Seattle's Morning News today, and so I'm going to share some of the answers that he gave to SMN today when it comes to drugs and his support for a harm reduction approach. This is what he said.
I would want to make sure we're pursuing every single strategy needed to solve this problem. We absolutely need to proactively reach out to people and help them get on a path to recovery. And we need to help take care of people when they come and reach out to us for help. I think we need to do everything across the board. when it comes to harm reduction, the evidence that I've seen is that harm reduction helps when it comes to reducing emergency room visits, saving lives, reducing the transmission of deadly viruses like HIV. And it's also true that we need to track other metrics of success. You know, in addition to saving lives, which is my top priority, I want to make sure we have safe streets. I want to make sure that we have no public disorder. I want to make sure that people have access to clean parks. And so I would pursue aggressive mitigating efforts, making sure that everybody has clean parks, safe streets, and we're saving lives. We need to do all of the above.
So he was asked a little bit more about public safety.
For me, it looks like the full spectrum of keeping a community safe, from prevention all the way to emergency response. Prevention looks like making sure that our communities have the resources that they need to live safe lives, like affordable housing and mental health resources, good after-school activities to keep our youth engaged. And it means having a strong and effective emergency response system. When people call 911, they deserve a fast response time, whether that's from law enforcement responding to an issue of violence, or making sure that we have mental health responders who can respond on the scene to help treat people who are going through a behavioral health issue. And so we need the full spectrum of responses, keeping our communities safe through the resources that they need, and making sure we have an effective, accountable criminal justice system.
Do you want to weigh in, or you want me to play one more soundbite? Yeah. Okay, so we asked this of Claudia Balducci as well. What differentiates the two of you? Like, why should we vote for either candidate? What is different? So this was his pitch to voters.
I think I have the vision, the track record, and the relationships to deliver for people on day one. When I think about the scale of the issues that we're facing right now, we're going to have to collaborate across all levels of government, across the private sector, across the nonprofit sector. And when I think about the people who have trusted in this campaign, this is the campaign that is ready to lead. We have on board in our coalition the governor, the attorney general, more state level elected officials than any other candidate. We have both Pramila Jayapal and Adam Smith, our members of Congress that represent the vast majority of King County, saying this is the campaign that they want to work with in defending our values when it comes to attacks from the federal government. When it comes to collaborating with the King County Council, which controls the executive's budget, I'm the only candidate in this race that has the endorsement of any current King County Council members.
So there you have it. Again, we had asked him if he would join us because I wanted to know a little bit more, and maybe he gave the answer to Seattle's Morning News, but I didn't hear it. One of my issues with him as a candidate for county executive is that he was initially in favor of shutting down the juvenile detention center, the brand new juvenile detention center, and he has since changed his mind. And I want to know, like, what was that change? And that's one of the things that Claudia Balducci brought up in our interview with her, is that she has been consistent. She's also run a city. She's also had a lot of experience. He has a lot of endorsements. This is going to be a very, very close race. Right now, in the latest public polling, Claudia Balducci holds a very slight lead, but, you know, a lot can happen between now and Tuesday.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys about endorsements? What's endorsements to you guys today? Like, when you see, like, does that sway your opinion one way or the other when you see someone say, oh, someone that I like just endorsed this candidate? Does that sway you?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes, and sometimes it backfires. Sometimes I'll listen, I'll go, that's probably one more reason. In this particular case, I dug deep into some of the reasons why I am going to go, I'm going to go for Claudia Balducci.
Yeah. Here's my, and by the way, this is out of respect of both candidates.
Yes.
Germay and Claudia, both candidates, as they get ready to battle. Here's where I feel about this. Ursula, did you ever run for student body?
No.
You didn't?
Nope.
Well, in military school, I remember the first time that I ran. And when I ran, I made sure I told everybody, hey, it's going to be no homework on the weekends. I said all of these different things, right? As a matter of fact,
you made promises knowing that they'd be very popular without an actual plan to deal with it.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to know why I was the student body? You know why I was president in 6th grade? and then 7th grade, and then 8th grade, and then 9th grade. Boom!
Yes.
I said things better than anybody else could. In this case right here, I'm just going to keep it all the way a buck with y'all. The homelessness crisis is not getting fixed no matter who the candidate is. That's number one. Housing affordability is still going to be trash no matter who gets it. What I'm telling you is this: no matter who wins, all of the problems that we're talking about, the same, I want to keep the people safe, will be the same thing talked about 4 years. Like the same thing. So what I'm saying is, until we start to do things differently and truly address poverty, until that happens, it's no different than little G. Scott in 6th grade saying, I'm going to give you no homework, and you're going to have pizza on Fridays.
Well, and that's where it's critical for you to look and ask which candidate has very specific things that they say would at least address some of the issues. Is one candidate going to solve all of it? No. But is one candidate coming in going to make it worse? Is one candidate coming in going to make crime worse with some of their policies or some of their ideas? And do they have some specifics that you agree with? And that's where, regardless of how you feel about this particular race, I do want to just say this again. Vote. Mm-hmm. Make sure you vote. And we cannot say it enough that you need, I still haven't filled out my ballot. I'm going to do it this weekend. And I am physically going to go to what they're saying. Do not mail it in. Physically go to the ballot box.
Hey, I have a little breaking news that I need to bust in with. So 15 minutes ago, a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to pay for food stamps during the government shutdown using emergency funds or any means necessary. So we'll have a little bit more for that for you, I'm sure, on the newscast.
And who called it? Gee. Okay, this is hey. If this is true and if this is happening,
y'all.
Okay,
y'all know.
I mean,
y'all, boy, I tell you, one day we gonna get it. We gonna get it. Hey, everybody.
All the stress.
Whenever you guys hear someone say, "Where will the money come from?" There's always money. There's always money. It's just they pick and choose who to give it to.
Well, and there was money that was rejected initially. So we're just getting the details now. And so we'll have a lot more. But in any case, I'm hoping that some people can breathe a sigh of relief.
Yep.
So we'll have more of that coming up next on the Gee and Ursula Show.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Touchdown Seahawks! Steve Rabel made the catch.
Number 96, Cortez Kennedy. He was as wide as he was tall, and he was in the backfield, terrorizing quarterbacks and throwing them to the ground, and wrapping up running backs and throwing them to the ground before they knew what hit them.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net. It's the final month to save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details.
Dayandnight.net.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th. New Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Carpoolers using the SR 167 Express toll lanes now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Announcing the Royal Corgis.
What have you done?
I wired pounds to London to buy Royal Corgis.
You went to the bank to wire money for Royal Corgis?
That means yes.
You are so dumb. Banks are slow and they hide all kinds of fees in transfers.
Those mutts.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. It's faster and never hides fees. Oh, they're fighting, just like the real royal family.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
You can count on trusted local news and information from the Seattle Times, one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country, right here in the Pacific Northwest. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletimes.com/subscribe.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Veterans Day is a moment where we express gratitude towards the folks who have served on our behalf, our veterans. And Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates veterans of all branches and their families on Veterans Day and every day of the year. They serve over 2 million veterans, and as a veteran, you can become a member and access exclusive rates, discounts, and financial tools for the whole family. Become a member at NavyFederal.org/veterans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Search in the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO Newsradio. Breaking news.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch. A federal court has ordered the Trump administration to pay for food stamps during the government shutdown. The New York Times reports the judge sided with nonprofits and other groups and told the Trump administration it must distribute aid using a set of emergency funds to pay for the SNAP food program as soon as possible. We're now hearing from an air traffic controller about what it's like to work 6 days a week and not get paid because of the shutdown. More from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Chris has been an air traffic controller for 20 years. He works at SeaTac Airport. For now, he's doing okay financially. He tells Gee and Ursula he's taken steps over the years to prepare for situations like this.
It will start wearing on me longer it goes.
He has heard that some colleagues have had to take out loans to make ends meet, but he has not heard about anybody calling in sick or getting a second job. And he doesn't expect that to happen in the future.
We're tired. Yeah, morale is a little low, but that's just years of being short-staffed, too.
Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Video of a Poulsbo chef offering free food to furloughed workers has gone viral. KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss with that story.
Chef Nicholas Gania served up this TikTok video about a week ago.
You're hurting, we're hurting, and we want to support you in this hard time.
Gania, the owner of Sauce Nouvelle Bistro in Poulsbo, used the video to offer free meals to federal workers affected by the shutdown.
I've gone through not always having food on my table, growing up from a single mother.
The video now has more than 1 million views.
People started donating money to us.
He's using that money for a free community meal for hundreds of furloughed federal workers and their families.
The meal will take place Sunday from 4 to 6 at Poulsbo Lutheran Church. 5 people in Michigan, including 2 teenagers, have been arrested in connection with plotting an ISIS-inspired terror attack on Halloween. CBS's Jack Springate.
According to our sources, the teens had automatic weapons and were surveilled going to gun ranges and even had surveilled Cedar Point in Ohio for a potential attack there.
Authorities say the plot was not well constructed. They were inspired, apparently, by a former member of the Michigan Army National Guard who was arrested in May. Amazon made $180 billion in revenue in the third quarter, driven by strong growth in its cloud division. It jumped 20% year over year. CEO Andy Jassy says AI is fueling momentum across the company. It's also a catalyst for the 14,000 job cuts the company announced this week. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 126 points. NASDAQ is up 86. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Lori.
And traffic is brought to you by AAA. Both directions of I-90 at 202 in North Bend still blocked for that collision. Looks like traffic is getting through very slowly. And, of course, it's an injury accident, so may continue on for a while. They're not giving us any time of that clearing. In Seattle on I-5, it's southbound right about Union. A stall is in the HOV lane in Marysville. Highway 9 northbound right at 84th. Look out for a collision. That's just partly blocking the lane. If you're heading from Seattle to Everett, 26 minutes now, and Seattle to Federal Way is 21 minutes. If you're heading from Bellevue to Federal Way, that's a 26-minute drive. AAA Washington's all-new everyday membership gives you discounts and perks at more than 900 local businesses, all for just $25 a year. Join today. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today with highs in the low 50s. It's 50 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Again, if you missed the breaking news, a federal judge has just ordered the Trump administration or has ruled that the administration is required by law to use contingency funds to pay at least partial benefits under the SNAP program during the government shutdown, and is now giving the government until Monday to tell the court whether it plans to do so. And this judge out of Massachusetts rejected the government's argument that a $5 billion contingency fund cannot be used to fund SNAP benefits during the lapse in appropriations. One of our listeners pointed out, yeah, this may have happened, but just remind everybody that come tomorrow, I mean, this is not all going to be fixed. The administration has until Monday to decide whether they're going to follow this decision, right? And so we heard from Luke Ducey, who has talked to different food banks, who are saying, right now more than ever, we need your help.
Yeah.
So don't let this news, even though there's maybe a glimmer of hope, deter you from if you were planning to donate. Or if you, and one of the things for the food banks, the easiest to deal with, they know how to make the dollar stretch further, is to give money if you can. Otherwise, other donations that they're asking for would be helpful as well.
Look, it's 11:30 right now. It's 11:30.
Uh-huh.
I believe before the end of the day that we are going to have some type of good news leading into maybe Monday, and where people will have some type of going through the weekend knowing that some funds will be on their SNAP benefits or EBT card. Now, this is me with my opinion. This is me with the glass half full. And here is the reason for my optimism. Because I think that hopefully there are some smart people that are in charge that know if these SNAP benefits are not available come Monday, all of the nonprofits, all of the, hey, this food bank, all of the niceness will not be able to take care of that. I told you all before, and I'll tell you again, desperation is a real thing. And for some of you all out here that has never experienced, and I'm not talking about you being hungry. That's one thing for you to be hungry. It's another thing for you to watch your child be hungry. Mm-hmm. That's a whole different type of game. And the old saying of, what would you do for your child? Would you do anything for your child? If you're listening to this and you probably said, duh, of course, G, I would do anything for my child. If your child is hungry and starving, what would you do? If whatever answer you have, multiply that across the country, all happening at the same time. I don't think we are prepared for something like that.
The sad thing is there are conversations literally happening right now in the White House about, well, do we say no to the courts? Do we appeal this to the Supreme Court? Will we be looked at as the bad guys if we decide to keep withholding people's food, their benefits that our taxes have all paid for? And who knows what side of the argument they're going to come down on.
And meanwhile, let's see. I'm trying to see what is going on in Washington, D.C. Both chambers of Congress are silent. Senate has adjourned for the weekend, extending the government shutdown until at least Monday, and that would be the 34th day, making it the longest funding lapse in U.S. history. So I love your optimism, but people who are depending on those benefits cannot rely on optimism or hopes, that something's going to happen at the last minute. And it's heartbreaking.
It is.
Yeah.
But I just want to just say, Ursula, on Monday, in your top 5 stories of the day, if this, and by the way, this is Friday, we are going into the weekend. Mm-hmm. If there is not some type of glimmer of hope, and by the way, that's all life is. Life is about hope. Life is about being able to, I hope I wake up tomorrow. I hope I'm able to eat tomorrow. I hope I'm able to feed my kids tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the bad part about this is that I think it is taking right now for a lot of people in this country to realize that when they hear ignorance of people that get on and they say things like those on SNAP benefits are most overweight, or when you hear these awful narratives that are centered around that, those narratives, Ursula, don't help the reality. People can be hungry coming up, and that's not something we want.
Mm-mm. Okay, I know we're supposed to be doing Agree to Disagree.
Oh, shoot.
Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters, but we wanted to make sure we got into the breaking news.
All right. A very brief edition here. I guess this will be a quick question. Do you care if your house is haunted? The Seattle Times reports that many buyers do not, but of course, some of them do. And unlike some states, ours does not require home sellers to disclose whether a murder or a suicide has occurred within that home. G?
Okay, yeah.
What do you think?
Yes. Yeah.
We should require it.
Yes. Murder? Suicide? Yeah. Yeah, we got to know that. My bad, I'm changing. Murder or suicide? Just happened in that corner room?
Different? Do you think that's...
Imagine
the reason I ask is because in the Philippines right now, I cannot sell the house that we had purchased for my mom. And it's been a couple of years since her death, and I'm starting to wonder if it's because people know that she died in the home.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
We were with her up until the end, and she was in her home.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a part of me that understands, like, yeah, you want to know. I mean, because there are some people who are superstitious.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is murdered, I definitely want to know, and that would give me pause.
How
If
about
someone died,
suicide?
No.
Suicide, you good
No.
with that?
I mean, I'm not. My brother died by suicide.
No,
So,
I'm saying what you want to know.
I'm not good with it, but what I want to, I know. But what I want to know,
Come on.
what I want to know, yeah, but it might not keep me from. It would make me sad, but it would not stop me probably from buying a house.
I think you should have to know because, I mean, here's the deal. What if you buy a house and then 3 years down the road, you're talking with your neighbor Jim while you're watering the roses, and he's like, yeah, I'm glad to see a good family move in here. You know, some awful stuff that happened in that place. And you're like, what are you talking about? Oh, it was murder-suicide. Remember that? Oh, no. Tell people up front.
Well, and someone texted in, Barry in the 253 says, it's required if the buyer asks. That's the only thing when the realtor has to tell them. So that's a question, I guess, you should always be asked.
On my list of questions for real estate agents.
You need to ask.
I mean, look, I don't know if I'm not making a joke right here, so I don't want people to think this is a joke, but can I get a discount?
Oh, that's
you know what I'm saying.
That's not even.
Can you take something? Take something off the house?
I remember that conversation. I bet that conversation does happen.
Yeah.
If a seller has a hard time because of what has happened in that house.
Right. All right. Text message feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's Words to Live By.
A 55-yard interception return by Easley.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 45, Kenny Easley, as pure an athlete as has ever played that free safety position. Saw him the very first day at training camp after his first-round draft choice. All of us veterans looked at each other and said, we've got something here, and we sure did.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Looking for a high school that nurtures both the mind and spirit? Archbishop Murphy High School is where academic excellence meets faith-based education. With a 100% graduation rate and a college prep program designed to challenge and inspire, our students are prepared for whatever the future holds. But it's more than just academics. Archbishop Murphy's robust athletics, arts, and co-curricular activities ensure that every student finds their passion and thrives. Archbishop Murphy High School believes in educating the whole person. That's why we offer a vibrant campus life where students grow not only academically, but also spiritually, socially, and physically. Don't just take our word for it. See it for yourself. Schedule a visit and discover how Archbishop Murphy High School can help your students succeed. Visit am-hs.org. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy proudly supports Archbishop Murphy High School, where your story begins. am-hs.org. Many retirees are enjoying the retirement lifestyle, but not the high cost of living. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, who says a reverse mortgage may provide some stress relief.
If you're struggling with your mortgage payments or other bills, or maybe you just like some extra money, a reverse mortgage allows you to tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You've worked hard to build up that equity in your home. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts, and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey, it's Gee Ursula, everybody. Listen, y'all, I'm just happy right now. I'm real happy.
Yeah.
Look at the weather. Look at me going home.
Well, the weather now.
Oh, the weather.
Yeah, but you love it when it rains and it's cuddle weather and all that. And tonight you'll maybe have one or two little spooky costumes coming to the front door asking for candy.
I'm just so impressed that you went right to cuddle weather.
Yes.
You already
I remember.
know.
I know you.
You already know
you.
what time it is.
Yes. Okay. I really want to end our show on a very positive note. And one of the text messages we got was from Nancy in Yakima. She listens to our show from Yakima.
I love Nancy.
I know. And she has just got a heart of gold.
Oh.
And she says, I want to share something with you that I do every year around this time when it starts getting cold out. I go to thrift stores and I gather as many blankets, coats, socks, and other essentials as I can afford. Then I head to Costco to pick up a cup of soups, bottled water, a big bag of dog food. I divide the dog food into quart-size bags and load everything into the back of my SUV because it holds quite a bit. Every winter holiday season, I drive around and I hand things out to people experiencing homelessness, pet food as well, if they have an animal companion. It is just my way of trying to help. I don't mind that money comes out of my paycheck each month to support government programs for vulnerable people because I have been there. When I was between my first and second jobs, trying to feed my son and keep a roof over our heads, I worked 2 jobs to stay afloat. Not every homeless person is a drug addict who doesn't care or someone who's lazy. No one wants to live on the streets unless they've been there so long that it's all they know. Everyone in America deserves a hands up. That's what it is, a hand up, extended with love, restoring someone's dignity, and reminding them that they matter. That is what I call my America. It makes me tear up just telling you about this because I remember what it feels like not knowing if you're going to eat that day or how you're going to feed your child. My son always had food, but there were times when I didn't. And there are always kind people who help me then, and that is what it takes for America to truly thrive. Kindness and heart. Oh my gosh.
Nancy's awesome.
Nancy, thank you so much for that. Like, that's all I can say. Thank you.
I told you at the beginning of the show, too, thank you to Nancy and all of you guys who have been texting us and telling us what you've been doing while we're dealing with so much uncertainty, and you are in a position to help off. I want to share that our Portugal women, those of us who went on that trip, I'm seeing text messages go back and forth. One of them donated to Northwest Harvest, and then her company, Alaska Airlines, matched the donation. So reminder that if your company doesn't match, this is a good time to do that. We heard from Luke Ducey earlier today, who said that the food banks are overwhelmed right now, and they're saying we're basically relying on community more so than ever.
And also, reach out to people in your own circle that you know might be struggling a little bit. Reach out to them. That would be great. All right, Ursula, now time for the good old words to live by. What you got?
And I love this saying. It's one I've used before, but I want to say it again. It's apropos. It's from Mary Davis, who says, "We cannot heal the world today, but we can begin with a voice of compassion, a heart of love, and an act of kindness."
Yes. The kindness word, boy, that's buzzword right there. Act of kindness.
It's one of the most important words in our vocabulary.
It is. All right, Brother Nick, what you got?
Well, as dawn turns into dusk around the neighborhoods tonight, a spooky witch or creepy goblin might be seen to give you fright, maybe with some funny friends dressed as a 6 and then a 7, walking through the streets to see who's got the candy bars from heaven. And I suggest to get the treat collection going early, since this year has higher chance for an atmospheric river journey, or try to work around the costumes with ponchos or something for the kids' sake. You don't want to get them too wet.
Thank you for that, Nick. So last night, I was at the event, Ursula, in the Tri-Cities, and I was auctioneering. Well, it's time for the raise the paddle, right? Mm-hmm. And during the raise the paddle, you start off at the different levels, and so let's just say the levels are at 1,000, right? And you go around. I bid number 131, thank you. Bid at 142, thank you. Listen, y'all, I said bidder 067, thank you. This little kid stood up on top of the chair and he said, 67!
Oh, no.
It was the best. I mean, I said, young man, that was perfectly timed. I said, 067, thank you. And he stood up, 67!
You made his night for sure.
Hey, that little kid made 67 the best. Anyway. Ursula, have a good weekend.
You too.
Have a good one. Chef, have a good one, brother. Are the kids going trick-or-treat?
Yeah, if we don't get dumped on tonight. Might have to make it a quick one.
Go anyway.
Just go out there early.
You guys are going to have such fun. You're just going to be drenched.
Yeah, it'll be amazing.
All right. Nick, have a good one. Bro, you dressing up, fam?
I'll be at home doing the little treating tonight for the kids.
You got some candy?
I got some candy.
You got some big ones?
I usually get the big bag, and I get a handful for each kid, give them like 2 or 3 of them.
Okay. All right. Hey, the Jake Spike Show, they're coming in next. Stick around. Have a good weekend. Happy Halloween. Ooh, that was corny. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Just break it out to see.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at K2VisionRLE.com.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at NewNordicUSA.com.
Hi, everyone. Gina Bellich here with the Legal Help Center. And we have a special guest with us today, Super Bowl champ Vernon Davis. So, Vernon, tell all of our radio listeners who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me join you here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now and find out how much money you could potentially get.
Thanks, Vernon. You heard it, folks. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now and find out how much money you could potentially get. Call 800-948-5880. That's 800-948-5880. 800-948-5880. Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma,